Hello everyone, transport enthusiast here, and in this video we are back again in Cities Skylines, and this is the first Cities Skylines video on the channel where I will be going through how we are building parts of the city of Westdale. So this is my city that I have been working on and off again over the last months, almost a year at this point. But I haven't played this in a while. But anyway, today what we are doing is we are extending our tram line number 10. So as you see here at the moment, this is our terminus. It's a nice little park by the sea and off the motorway of tram line number 10, which is operated by these nice Duewag GT8 vehicles. So currently our line 10 runs from here. I haven't got a place for this name, so we're just going to use the default name here, Annabelle Street. Which is by the river, or it's by the river, not the sea, by the river and off the motorway. Then it continues out along here, past the library, past this high residential area, onto the main street here, along the other river. Then it comes off here, so it diverges off from the road, goes over this overpass here into this little residential area. Then it passes its old terminus. So this line was recently extended, or the last time I played it, it was extended. Or one of the last times I played it was extended. So before line 10 terminated here, and I'm not sure what this is doing here. This house is protruding out onto the road, so we're going to have to destroy it because it is not obeying basic logic. Anyhow, so it goes past here the old terminus of this high residential area here. It continues on here, and yeah, as you can see, we've got some congestion on a tram line, something we might look into in a future video. And oh god, yeah, that does not look good, so that might actually be worth a screenshot. See that this is the thing, the Windows bar doesn't detect it, so we can't take a screenshot. But yeah, there you go. Or maybe if we try again. Oh, there we go, screenshot saved. Yeah, so as you can see here, we've got quite a build-up of traffic on the tram lines. That might just be because the game's paused at the moment. That could be one potential reason. This here is our tram depot, so it goes past this tram depot. So this is the tram depot that line 10 operates out of. As far as I can recall, we have 4 tram depots. So currently we have 38 trams in use, and obviously once we extend line 10, there's going to be more trams being used. Here is the industrial area, so it goes past the industrial area. Then it continues off through here. It goes along this route here, past the farm area. So we've got an apple orchard, we've got some fields. I think that's some wheat and some other stuff. Is that corn actually? It might be corn. Yeah, so it's been like a month, or yeah, it's been over a month since I've played this, so I've already forgotten what's what. Here is our shopping center. It goes past the shopping center, past this nice little residential and tourist area, all along here, continues up along here. So I actually haven't done a showcase, so anyone that's been watching the Tram Line showcase series, we've got up to Tram Line 8. Well, that's due in September. That video will be published by the time this video has been uploaded. But anyway. Yeah, so we haven't actually had a showcase of this line, but we'll have a showcase of it at some point. So then here is the zoo. No, sorry, and I've taken the wrong route here. Yeah, so currently, where's the terminus? So currently our tram terminates here. So after it reaches this part here, it turns off here, and as you can see here, we have another Duewag GT8 on line 10, and it's at this terminus here. This place doesn't have a name. It hasn't given one by default, but you know, it's by here, by the river. I think this is a science expo. Oh, it's a stadium. It's not a science expo, it's a stadium. And then also it's by the little recreational area. So you've got your nice little cycle lanes and your little like ports and all that kind of stuff. So what we're doing today, the marina. So you've got the marina. So what we're doing today is the boardwalks, yeah. As you can see here, we have a boardwalk as well. So what we're doing today is we're going to extend line 10 past here, past this area here, past the zoo where it's going to branch off, and then out around here into the new ferry port. So we've got one ferry port, or just here, connecting this part of the city, but on this part of the city, we have added a second ferry port. So what this will do is this will provide an easy access for people arriving with the ferry. You can get this tram, travel this nice little old tram, add to that, add to the experience. Because I think in Vienna they actually have they have a tourist tram line which is operated by Duewag GT8. So you know it makes the tram route more iconic. So it's perfect that we're using these old over 60-year-old trams for this route. And then also what we're going to do is we're going to have some little housing estates here, and the tram will terminate up here in a more rural setting. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we actually want to finish our tram line. So as you can see, it extends out here. So then what we want to do is we want to have it cut through the roundabout. So if you go into our tram infrastructure, no, this is the wrong way. So we go into this little bus here. We go into the bus, and then we look for the tram yoke. So we want to use the road. So this is the other thing. I advise when you're building tram lines, you use one of these roads. So we have this one, which is this one here is with the bus lane, but we are going to use this one here with the grass since we're cutting the roundabout. There we go. Then we go along here, all the way up here, and then we have a nice turning circle, like so. Actually, make this turning circle quite large. And then like that. So as you can see here, this is our tram terminus. It's quite large. It's a quite large turning circle, but we might have a little park here and just make it a little scenic terminus. Maybe for people who are coming into the city with the ferry for just a few hours and don't have that much time to go into the bigger city. So now what we want to do is we're just going to remove some of these trees here because they're a bit annoying to say the least. I kind of like the trees in the middle, but we don't know how this is going to look design-wise, so let's just do that. Clear some of it off. And we do the same here. Actually, let's just clear them all. There we go. Just so it's easier to manage. We can always add in this stuff back in if need be. And then we can do that. There we go. So now we have some green space to work with. So before we start building our tram line, probably what makes sense to do is to actually add in the infrastructure, the buildings that will be around here. So let's just make this a bit more. Actually, I don't know. I think this turning circle is a bit too large, so let's shorten it out. Yeah, so this turning circle is too large. I think this is a bit overkill, so let's make it smaller. And then also perhaps... no, we won't extend it any further for now. There we go. This looks more realistic, or just looks more reasonable. And this is the other thing, the handy thing about Move It is it allows you to manipulate the radii and just the shaping of your infrastructure just to make it looking precisely how you'd like it to. Okay, so what we're going to do here is now we need to build our road. So this is like the outskirts. This is like now entering into the rural areas. So what we might do is if we find our road, we're going to look for a rural road. So we go here into roads, and then this is an industrial road. We probably don't want this. Something a bit more country-esque. There we go. So then perhaps we'll have a like this. So this is obviously the textures don't align here, but sure, look, it's grand. So here we'll have this. So the trams intersect here, and then this actually might be a bit of a traffic chaos. So we probably don't want this too close, because then if cars are trying to turn off and trams are passing through, it might be a bit of a bottleneck. So we might just place our road slightly further up the roundabout, maybe about here, but it's not liking that. So we need to manipulate this roundabout a bit. Like so, and then we can do this here. So then along here will be our housing estate. Then what we might have is we might have this road turn in closer to be aligned with the tram tracks, and then it's going to go around like this, and then here we'll have a nice little town or village. Okay, so once we have this bit, we might just get rid of a bit more of this. Like so, get rid of all those trees. And then we might just add in our housing. So this is going to be a low residential area, low density residential area. So if we just add in something like this, something with trees. There we go. Nothing too fancy. Like so. And then we can unpause this, because obviously people won't move in. This won't start building if it's unpaused, if it's paused. And then this obviously goes out too far. We don't want it that far, so something like that. There we go. Okay, so then we have like our first section here. Now obviously there's no water supply here at the moment, so we need to add in a water supply. Like so. And then is there an electricity supply? This should be within the range of electricity. Let's check. No, it's not. So we need to add in our overhead poles. That can go around like so. There we go. That should be grand. Now, we might just remove those trees just to make them look more realistic. Now, this could take a while to build up as well because it's kind of far from all the amenities. Then what we do is we might add a little shop here. So we go here. The shop might just be on this side there. And then we might actually have some houses here along this dirt road. Give it that really country-esque feel. Okay. And then obviously we're going to need a path that's going to connect this. So we're going to have a tram stop somewhere here. So if we go into this and then we look for a path, so we go into the landscaping and into paths, we can just put one of these paths. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy, like so. And then what we might do is we might have some houses here as well, kind of have it like a typical countryside. And then we might just add the water supply in there. And then finally here, what we might do here is this might be like the center of the little town. So this actually might turn, instead of having this like a dirt road, you might actually use a road with footpaths. So if we just go into this road here, let's upgrade this road. So this is like the town. And like so. It's not going to be very big, but it will be enough. So we might have our shop here. So the shop will be just by where the... So I made this the wrong color. So I actually made this I was meant to do this as a blue, light blue, because obviously this one here, which is the high density commercial zone, is complete overkill. So there we go. That's fixed up. We might actually have some houses along here. I like that idea. There we go. Now obviously there's probably better precision. The smaller blue dot is probably a better precision tool. We won't mind that. And then what we can do is we can add in our houses here. So actually it's easy to use this for this case here. Like so. Actually, yeah, there we go. And then what we might do is we might just add in a road here that just goes through there, and then one that circles back around. So this is just, it's not a tiny town, but it's a fairly small one. And then we can have it go like that. And then we'll have a little turning circle here. So what we'll do here is we will add in this. Now, this is the thing. Sometimes you have to do this to get radii that are more. Yeah, but that radii works. But you know, sometimes you have to go back in and out just to get a radius that's the kind of radius you're looking for. Okay, let's just get rid of this quickly here. Select this. We don't want all these trees and rocks in the way. There we go. Okay, and then we have our housing estate that hopefully will build up at some point. So let's just add in our houses like so. There we go. And then we might just add in a second little shop here. And then we will have a rural road that goes outbound to wherever it goes. Something we'll figure out in a later episode or off camera. There we go. And then this is back out. So this is a little town here. And then this is where the tram meets this town. So then what we probably could do is actually we might add a little, so by the center. So we might add in a little park. So instead of having this here, deselect this. And select this here. No, that's not going to be enough for a park. So let's go in here. And then let's look at our parks. We might actually have the park go in there. Like so. So it connects the thing there. So we'll have our houses here and here. And then we'll have probably a little footpath. So the footpath will lead to the park, so it's safer. Now, this doesn't have electricity, so we need to extend our electrical supply line. If we zoom out, like so, and then just around the back as well. Then obviously this doesn't have a water supply either. Oh, it does, but let's just bring out a water supply here while we're at it. Probably needs a local police station because I think we're a bit far out from all the police stations. So as you can see, yeah. What's this? So this is a fire station, isn't it? A firehouse. So we might just have a firehouse. We might just have a fire station just out here. Just off the edge of the town. Just to keep things safe, especially that we're since near a tram line and all that kind of stuff. Might add in a little elder care center here. There we go. So that connects with the tram line as well. Now as you can see here, this is a bit annoying because it's quite a steep slope, so we're just going to do that. Like so. And then that will kind of stoop down as well. Then what we just do is we just need to extend this landscape here and fix it up a bit because it's quite odd looking at the moment. And that clearly didn't do the trick. Why won't this go outwards? So this also wants electricity, so we'll do the electricity in a second. But first let's just do this bit here. Extend all this out. Okay. That looks fine for now. We might just add in some trees as well. So where's our electricity? So how are we going to connect this? Like so. Then that's not going in within the boundary. There we go. Now it is. Okay. So now we have that in. I wonder if we can lift the actual building up. Just so it looks more aligned. There we go. Perfect. So now we've got electric supply kind of. We just need to extend the electricity back out to here. Okay. And then, you know, over time this will slowly build up hopefully. And then, you know, obviously we'll connect this road with that road as well in the future. Actually, we might connect this road here now. So we might have this here connect up with here. So kind of have this at an angle. There we go. So then that people can also go onto this road, which leads to the metro station. So it's not too far of a walk from the metro station as well. Just so we're nice and well connected so people don't have to rely on cars too much. Now, let's go back to this. We don't want this. We want this. Let's try and do... Okay. Don't really want to destroy that many, so let's just do it slowly. Like so. Then let's do that again. And then here again. Okay. So then we'll connect nice and connected there. Might have some farms there in the future, but we will leave that for now. And now we can get on to actually constructing our tram line, or actually having vehicles go along a tram line. So let's go back. So the thing we're going to do now is let's go into our bus tab or transport tab, into trams. Actually, it's probably easier to do it this way. So we're going to here, into here, back into our trams. We're going to disable all the line colors because we're just dealing with line 10, and it gets really annoying if you have other lines in the way. I'm going to enable this here, like so, and then we can see it here flashing. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to remove these two stops. If it will, okay, so actually to remove the stops, we need to go into the editor, yoke, and then look for the tram stop here somewhere. Where's the tram stop? There we go. So let's get rid of this. So we don't want this there. We don't want this there. Now we're going to grab this. And we're going to drag it all the way up here. And then that's our terminus. So as you can see there, we've connected this with our terminus. And what you might notice is that no, it's not doing any detours at the moment, so that's good. So yeah, sometimes when you do this, it does detours, which obviously is not something we want, but for now it's grand. So we're going to add a tram stop here by the metro station, obviously. And then the next stop will probably be here. This looks like a tram stop. This is the only thing about disabling all the lines. You don't know where all the tram stops are. Probably one here by the taxi stand and by the little walkway. And then might just add one just here. As we can clearly see, there's some tram stops there. Obviously, you're going to have here one by the zoo. Probably here since... No. Actually, let's just add it here because that might be better. So I thought this was just for trams, but I think this is for cars. No. Is this just for trams or just for cars? No, this is just for trams. So it might make sense. No, that's too far away. Is it? Yeah, I think we're better off adding them here. So that's the thing, because if you add them here, this is probably going to create bottleneck. So that makes more sense. Let's actually just take a look at that. So they can come in through here, or they can come in through here. I'm going to say probably better here. Yeah, because that way, if we add them here, then what happens is that then they don't get stuck. This way, it's closer to the station. It's not going to create traffic because this is just for trams, as far as I can tell. So that way, it's not causing chaos. Yeah, so it's just for trams, so it probably makes more sense to have it there. Then our next stop will be somewhere along this avenue, probably just here by the second exit to the zoo and by this little entrance to the housing estate. Currently there's nothing along here, so there's no point adding stops there. Obviously we're going to have one by the ferry terminal. There we go. And then we'll have one here by our path into the housing estate and into the elder care home. Then we might have another one here by the park. Oh, that was the other thing I was meant to do. Oh, we've messed this up. There we go. I was going to add one here by the park as well, so I was going to add a little walkway, so we're going to do that now, and then obviously this is our first stop. So here goes our Tram Line 10. So now we've extended that. The other thing I wanted to do was I actually wanted to build this here. So I wanted to have a little walkway from here that goes to the park, like so. So that way, people walking to the park don't have to walk on the dirt along the dirt track. Then here's our stop. This is going to be a bit of a trial and error. There we go. So they're going to have to walk a little bit from the stop, but it's not too bad, because that way at least it visually appears, it appears visually. It appears aesthetically pleasing rather than oddly looking. So let's add some bushes now. Where are the bushes hiding? So just add these little things to the terminus just to make it that extra bit more to life. We might add some trees in the middle, and we're going to landscape this because this looks horrendous at the moment. I kind of like these trees a bit dark though. They don't really seem to suit the kind of more brighter landscape, like so. So this, I like this terminus now here. It's very like nature-esque. We have some birds flying by. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the landscaping, and let's just sort that out as well. There we go. Now, but we have to. No, we don't want this one. We probably want this one. Just align these so they kind of look like they are in the same place. Now the other thing is we might add some trees along here, although that might ruin the scenic view. So we might just add some flowers and that kind of thing, or some like bushes, just so it doesn't look like bland like grass and there's some kind of barrier, albeit one that's not really that fit for purpose. But I don't want to have like metal barriers. I kind of like to keep the natural feel to it. So let's go back to our bushes. Actually, let's see what happens when you look at flowers. These are probably not going to be too visible at the... Right, yeah, so let's just go back to the bushes. Or... we might just add these here like so. Yeah, so we might have them just there, just but not all along the whole way, because also it just wastes up our limit for assets and objects. So there's our bushes. And then we might just use different clusters just to make things a bit more interesting. There we go, like so. And then that's pretty much looks fine there. Actually now, for some reason this was paused. Obviously press the spacebar by accident or something like that. Now let's take a look at our tram line and just populate it properly. So currently probably it won't be operating at 100%. It might be, or it might not. So if it's not, we just need to add some extra tram vehicles to it. So let's go back into, obviously as you can see here, people at the zoo are waiting to use this line. So if you go into here, our line manager, let's go here and let's just enable all them back. Yeah, because there's no point of having them disabled. I'm just going to delete some of these abandoned buildings rather than waiting for it to do it itself. Now, let's see where our Duewags are. So we are up line overview. So if we go to line 10, at the moment we are operating at 108% capacity, so that's fine. 36%, and we have 128 residents and 119 tourists. So let's just take a look at the tram depot and see if any more trams are leaving the depot in light of the recent extension to line 10. So line 10. There you have it. There you can see a Duewag has just left the depot. So there's one tram leaving the depot there, and it's going back to the terminus on that side by the river. And then we have this. There's another line 10. And the last thing we want to do is we just want to check that the line is running along the route we want it, because sometimes what happens with Cities Skylines when you are editing tram lines is it likes to go double up on itself, so it likes to go via turning circles, all that. But as you can see here, the orange line is not going off to anywhere it's not supposed to be, like here. Sometimes what happens is when you move the lines, it might go along here, do a loop, and then go back around. So thankfully it's not doing that now. So now it's running as it should be. Okay, so that's it there. We've extended the line 10. All that's left to do is to add in some scenery, buildings, and stuff around here, and then that will basically be a fully functioning tram line. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. For more Cities Skylines videos as well as other simulation games, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That is all for now. Until next time.